Yo guys, I've got a spark which I'm gonna use to ignite the fire for a brand new episode of the Skylanders TRAPTANIUM Sabotage here in the series. Now the setup is a little bit different this time around, for I have no green screen nor a face cam. It's just for full screen glorious gameplay, which I'm sure you guys tune into every single week. That is, if this series was coming out on a weekly basis. But it's time to cut to the chase without further ado. Today's Sabotage is using only Brawlers for 10 waves, which is where I came up with the awesome idea of, rather than limiting myself to just Brawlers, let's go for full spectrum and use melee attacks only. I can't use any projectiles whatsoever, so therefore I'm not just using Brawlers, but I am at least only using attacks that are Brawling based, which is a bit of a nice alliterative phrase right there, and you guys know how much I love the alliteration. So one of the finest Brawlers is actually Pop Fizz. That is when he's in his beast form, so I've got to make sure I don't accidentally use any of his potions, because I would consider them more projectile based than anything. So I am going to be recording these next 3 episodes back to back to back, because we only do 10 waves per episode, and these levels have 15 waves in them each. So yes, this particular episode is going to end after the appropriate wave. And then once that appropriate wave has appeared, I'll just go straight into recording for next episode, where, you know, we'll get through 5 waves, finish this level, and then have to start another 5 waves in the next level. And then finally, that 3rd episode I'm recording again back to back, I'll be able to utilize the final 10 waves of that next level to complete it with. Enough of that whole convoluted nesto. Let's start this next wave. And the reason why I have no green screen nor face cam this time around, and I'm simply just using voice recorder, is because I do have a little bit of a minor cold going on right now. You might hear a bit of snuffling from me, and it's why my throat, or more specifically my voice, might sound a little bit hoarse at times. Okay, let's be bold with these guys. I did use the potions earlier by accident, but luckily, because there weren't any enemies on screen, you know, the challenge wasn't really being all that broken upon. Now, luckily, this beast mode is down the appropriate path, where my timer is filled up every single time I attack these enemies, and I have a huge knockback. So basically, the broken path, for lack of a better way of putting it. Love to see it. But again, it wasn't really impacting anything earlier, when all what I was doing was hitting crates by accident with my projectile attack. So therefore, I didn't really break up the sabotage challenge. You know, I didn't harm the outcome of the events, shall we say, by attacking nothing but crates with my projectile attack. So we'll just let Pop Fizz off with that one. You know, we'll chalk that up to me getting used to the sabotage still. But yeah, that's not the only reason I don't have a face cam. Here I was trying to explain some things, and Cuckoo Clocker was just not having any of it. That, my friends, is where the sabotage, or the genius of it, truly comes into play, because using melee attacks only makes it so much more easier for my Skylanders to get swarmed by enemies and defeated. Being able to maintain a distance from enemies just means that you can evade their attacks so much more easily, so having to get up close and personal is just going to spell out doom for a lot of these characters, including Jawbreaker right now, at least the legendary version of him. But yeah, the other reason why I have no face cam is because of the fact that my green screen is currently at my Lincoln accommodation. Oh, that was fast. So therefore I don't have it with me, because I'm recording these instead at my regular home here in Loughborough. So already 2 Skylanders are dead, and we're going to bring in Voodoo, which is actually the Elite's version, because the green based version again is at my Lincoln accommodation. But despite the fact that it calls it Elite in game, he doesn't actually get the Elite buffs. You know, as you can tell, his health is still pretty, well, shit, because we got one shot right there. But second of all, it's pretty regular, and the attacks hit as hard as his normal version does. But yes, this is so far a bit of a slaughterhouse. The sabotage is most certainly working very effectively. Projectile attacks only, well, for lack of projectile attacks I should say, it's really spelling out my doom for me right here. Okay, here we go. Boom. Oh, come on! The hitbox on that! I already hate this. I hate it so much. Okay, next up, let's go with Wash Loop, a very interesting variant swapper combination, you could say. Yeah, Dark Wash Loop for win. Now, even when I'm teleporting, because the teleport attack only like hits for enemies that are directly around it, we're not going to count it as a projectile move. Gotta be careful though, because that can easily expose me towards enemy attacks. Okay, this guy has a soul gem, right? Thank God. Oh wait, that's projectile. So we're gonna have to sacrifice this guy. I have not much choice in the matter, because that's what happens when you accidentally bring out projectiles. You wind up floating in an endless, well, loop. I was gonna say void, but then I remembered the name of the variant, so I thought the pun was just too much potential to pass up. So yes, that's what happens when I use projectile attacks by accident. And the greatest sabotage here is habit. I have so many habits right now that I've got to break, and that is easy said than done, because I'm so used to just mashing projectile attacks, and I can't do that with this sabotage in play. Okay, here we go. Slice and dice. Oh, come on, game. Give me a break. Don't combo. Strike. Yes, thank God. We healed 7. How glorious. Where would I be without that 7 healing from the, you know, guy being defeated and all that? The Mystery Box of Doom guy. Oh, I like that name. It's actually a pretty cool name. Mystery Box of Doom guy. Yeah, that sounds like something from Fulfilled 3 guy, for some reason. Anyway, these guys have got to go. Yes, I'm down the melee path with this guy. Thank God, because melee is the name of the game this time around. Literally, look at that title. No projectile attacks whatsoever. Melee, the melee game, is the name of the game, alright? Or name of the video, at least. And there are those snuffles I warned you about earlier. Yeah, the things I don't, for goodness of my heart, for you guys, recording whilst I'm mildly sick. Again, it's nothing that I wasn't going to record over. I did have to cancel streams about it though, because I don't think I could speak several hours non-stop and not at the full volume of my voice either. So this is, you know, about as far as I'm willing to go, being a little sick and all that. Yeah, you could probably hear it in my voice, no doubt, but I should now start to focus on these guys, I reckon. Thank God I can jump! If it was projectile, keep on accidentally saying projectile, what I meant to say is, if it was melee attacks only, as well as not jumping, like I had for a sabotage a few episodes back, then I would be truly screwed. Oh boy, it looks like this guy is going melee only as well right now. Unfortunately, it's working out a lot better for him than it is for me right now. So let's be bringing in as Chop Chop's replacement right now, and Eon's Elite, because when in doubt, just bring in the Elites. It worked for Reset episode, where Trigger Happy just came in clutch right now, so that's what we have Terrafin for, because he is definitely a bit of a brawler right now. Like, seriously, look at this melee prowess right now. We could even come in with a belly flop. Boom, baby, so much damage and knockback too. This is a very warm welcome. I like this a lot. Yeah, because once again, Eon's Elites were not made unallowed for this challenge. You know, there was nothing that stated in the sabotage that Elites were off limits, shall we put it, even though my health is really deteriorating. So even when you have an Eon's Elite with over 2,000 health, you're still going to lose it awfully quickly when enemies can surround you with ease, because all you can do is hit them up close and personal. That's a success of a sabotage, right? Because if I lose the Eon's Elite Terrafin right now, oof, that'd be nasty, because he's the only Eon's Elite I can actually use. Eruptor, I suppose he is mostly melee based. I was kind of losing track of my words right now. Words are hard, okay? Cut me a break, or, you know, cut me some slack, as the phrase should be put. But yeah, Gilgrunt is one of the only other elites I have with me here at my regular house in Loughborough, and he is very much projectile based. Like, I don't think any of his attacks would be considered as brawling based attacks that are all up close and personal. So yeah, Terrafin is unfortunately the only elite I can really use for this challenge, so if we lose him, I will be doomed. Oh boy, this is the last thing we want. Just everything attacking anything and everything. And now here we have Coca-Cola. This did not go so well for me the last time now, did it? Oh boy, one hit and we're done. Somehow I wasn't hit. We evaded it like a boss with 300 health remaining. Man, this elite business right now is real clutch. Okay, here we go. Watch out for those guys. Reset this thing whilst we're here. Why not now, right? Oh, watch out for the grenade fellow who somehow didn't hit me. It's a miracle, I'm telling you. Okay, boom! I love the fact that whilst we're underground, we can still activate these guys like self-destruction. So we're underground, we can't take any damage, but those guys are cutting themselves off in the process. It's a very great 2-for-1 type dealio. So yeah, we're just gonna keep on going with Terrafin right now and hoping for the best. He is inevitably going to be killed off. I mean, look at that health. There is a very little sliver of it remaining. So we'll use him for as long as we possibly can and then swap out for other melee characters I'm planning to use. He's not dead yet, it's a miracle. And I don't put that mildly. Okay, watch out for yous guys. Yes! They do's be having gone down. Speaking of things going down, there goes the mystery box of doom. Oh boy, there's so many Coco-Clockers. Yeah, this is really tailoring itself towards the whole Brawling theme because, you know, I've not only lost Brawling Skylanders left, right, and centre and I have to sacrifice one for stupidly using a projectile move, but also the enemies are very Brawling based as well right now, but for them it's no problem because they can just one-shot my Skylanders like Mr. Splash right here who's about to get one-shot, but he certainly is one of the best melee-based characters, so wish me luck, for I'm going to need it. Taking this guy down. Oh no! That's why I needed the luck, guys. That would be why. So, Stump Smash had his few seconds, literal seconds of glory. And now with that out of the way, let's toss on the portal instead some Frino, for whole world version specifically. This is like Terrafin all over again because there are definitely similarities. I mean, they both punch for Pete's sake. Oh, we got to reset that right there. There we go. That'll make things a bit easier for us. Oh, I should have saved that food for later, but never mind. I had no idea that Frino had over 1,000 health. Well, he did have over 1,000 health anyway. Yeah, I didn't peg Frino as a particularly, you know, healthy Scarder, but apparently I'd be wrong in assuming that. After all, assumptions do make an ass out of you and me. If only this guy was elite right now, so I could be dealing like stupid damage. But that is asking too much, I'm afraid. Don't know why I keep like getting off my bike in advance, thinking that it's going to be flown forwards like a projectile. Even if it could be used as a projectile, it wouldn't be of much use, given that I can't use projectiles for this challenge right now.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Oh boy. But now, let's be taking that guy off the zip portal and instead placing on Lightning Rod. Now, this guy is primarily projectile based, but it is one particular attack which is all about being up close and personal, and best yet is that it's the stunning one. Stunnage! Except for the Cuckoo Clock, which is unfortunate, but all the other enemies are being stunned by it. It's very convenient there. So yes, as you can tell, I do have to get up close and personal with these guys with this attack in order to defeat them. But luckily, with them being stunned, they can't attack me or hit me back. So that is kind of for compensation. Getting up close and personal with these fools right now. Anyway, so much about making things easier and not letting the doom waves come upon me. These clouds are somewhat projectile based. But, you know, projectiles is a bit of a strong word for it. They still need to be pretty close to these enemies in order to attack them, I would argue. Here we go. Let's take out some more fools with my melee attacks. Oh no! Oh, I love this stunnage right now. You guys, you can't touch this. I would start singing for you guys, but the problem here is that I'm a terrible singer, so I'm going to savour you for tyranny of my awful vocals. You're welcome.
What can I say except you're welcome?
Okay, here we are. Gotta watch out for those raining missile things before they hit me in the face, and I don't much like it. Okay, boom, that guy's down, and we're all the way through wave 55, or all the way up to 55 I should say, but that still means we have several waves to go. We gotta get all the way up to, well, we gotta beat wave 59. That's what we gotta do. Yeah. Alright, wave starting indeed it is. Well, I say 59, it's 60 that we've got to beat, isn't it? Because then that would have been 10 waves. Yes, it will be 60 that we've got to beat, I think. I don't know, I can't math right now. I'm too busy concentrating on the fact that I can't use these projectiles, unlike my habit is telling me. Like, half my brain is telling me, use this primary attack, just bash it. You'll be doing a whole lot better right now. But, you know, I got to ignore that instinct. So that then I don't fail upon the Sabotage challenge and have to sacrifice this guy. Oh man, this is so good though for stunnage. Oh, why could all melee characters stun this way? Why is that too much to ask for? Okay, here we go. Now this is what I call getting them all right. They've been got. Now where's the Eon's Elite Lightning Rod when you need him? That's a true question we should be asking ourselves. Yeah, unfortunately I don't have Elite Stealth Wolf with me. She's currently at Lincoln, and that's a massive shame because, well, Stealth Wolf is melee based. You'll see that later when Lightning Rod gets killed off. I'm definitely going to place into the Portal as his replacement. Legendary Stealth Wolf instead, because she is just so broken up close and personal with her overpowered melee attacks. Okay, here we are. You guys gotta continue to go down. Oh no, there goes the Mystery Box of Doom. That's the last thing I wanted, because this guy isn't stunned by my awesome stunnage. So the one utmost useful thing about Lightning Rod has now been lost. Does that make the character quote-unquote useless? Can I officially clickbait with a thumbnail now? Dun dun dun. Okay, here we go. We're getting them, so but surely we're getting them. Okay, watch out for the big ass attack that could one-shot me. No thank you, I'd rather not take that to the face. Luckily that's what I have the jump button for. Easily my favourite button right now is the jump button, as well as the triangle. I'm mashing that a lot. Oh no! And just like that, Lightning Rod was defeated. So now let's bring on in none other than, well, I said it earlier, Legendary Stealth Wolf was next in line for the Slaughterhouse, so let's be fulfilled upon that promise without further ado. I'm not much looking forward to her death. But here we go. Wish me luck, for I'm still going to need it. Oh boy, that Cuckoo Clocker was spazzing out right there, and I thought I was dead, thank God. Okay, Cuckoo Clocker spazzing out once more. But man, look at how I depleted that Cuckoo Clocker's health bar. At the end it wasn't enough, but it certainly was a good effort. So let's go from one giant life variant to another. Gnarly T-Rex is up with some awesome light-core effects, might I also add. His eyes are lighting up green and his cannon is orange. Not that we can use the cannon because that would be a projectile move. That is powerful. That is really powerful. Yes, he's down. Get out of here, man. Get out of here. Now, the Woodpecker is somewhat projectile, but because it's an automated attack and I have no control over it, we're just going to let that slide. A bit like how when Pop Fizz used his projectile attacks, not on enemies, but on crates, and, you know, basically made no alternative to the output of the enemy damage, or the outcome, should I say, of the challenge in general. You know, when you attack crates, it's not going to affect the outcome, is it? So, Pop Fizz, we let that slide, and things that I have no control over, such as automated attacks with T-Rex, that I'm also going to allow. Oh, this is fun right now. I'm liking this a lot. Okay, you guys have got to go, or, you know, Mystery Box of Doom could alternatively also be unleashed. I suppose that's also a possibility. And now it's the I-5. Literally the last thing I wanted to happen, because this guy's a bit of a beast against me specifically. Okay, here we go. We've got to stop this. Boom. I really wish I could use a projectile on this guy right now, but that's asking too much. So yes, automated projectiles are fine, and even then the woodpecker does only start to attack when the enemy gets pretty close. Like, look at that, that guy was in like melee distance, and only then did the woodpecker start attacking him. Oh man, the armor wasn't enough. He gave it his all, and in the end it just wasn't enough. But he definitely did well for himself there, Gnarly T-Rex, especially being a giant and all that. So now let's bring out Bash. He has some excellent maneuverability. It's a Series 2, so he has the excellent Wow Pow. And he has a stupid tail attack. You see what I mean? This guy's a tank. You see, we can even do that. Oh boy, but that creates projectile though. Projectile didn't actually hit the enemy, so again, it really didn't affect the outcome whatsoever. So we're going to just let it slide like we do with Pop Fizz. But still, I got to remember not to use that Wow Power from now on. Wow Power is great, but the fact that it uses a projectile ruins it for me. Why did it have to be that good? They could have just kept it the way it was without projectile, and then it still would have been good. But they just had to go the extra mile to make it all that more OP with the projectile, and now that is what has screwed me over. The one time where I wish an attack wasn't as good as it was, I wish the attack was much worse. Much worse than, you know, actually being, able to use it. You know, being able to use it is better than not being able to use it at all because of its projectileness. Luckily, it would appear that when I used for Wow Power by total accident, the projectile got cancelled by the fact that I was hit by just about everyone who was surrounding me. I don't think there was anyone who I didn't get hit by in that process. So yeah, fortunately, because the projectile wasn't thrown out, we can't quite classify it as one. But even without the sacrifice, this guy wound up dead regardless. The fun of using melee attacks only. Am I right? So now let's bring out Fun Pack without further ado. What could possibly go wrong? I instantly wish I did not say that. Okay, you guys have got to go, simply put. Just die already. I'm not asking too much, am I? Oh, who am I kidding? Of course I'm asking too much. Okay, luckily this is what we got projectiles for. Why won't this guy just die already? Actually, that is kind of like a projectile, so we'll just use for chomp instead. Oh, and now he's dead because the grenades just swarmed me. The problem with having to get up close and personal right now. So yeah, I love the fact that, you know, I say, oh, if I use any projectiles by total accident, then I'll sacrifice a Skylander. With how effective this Sabotage is, it basically is a sacrifice as soon as I put a Skylander on the portal, no matter whether I use any sort of projectile attack or not by total accident. Like, seriously, this is somehow one of the most simplest Sabotages yet, and also at the same time one of the toughest. Sometimes it's simple Sabotages that are the most tough. Okay, here we are. I can't throw out the Prey Dragon because that is fired out as projectile afterwards. Oh, that was a funny glitch right there. Oh no! But Frankenstein's going to come in and be an absolute pain, like always. So let's try things out with Legendary Blades. Oh, we're looking sharp, alright. Okay, those things right there, let's be honest, they were projectiles. I'm just going to sacrifice this guy. I was going to make the argument that so long as I don't fire off with my primary attack at them and use them as projectiles, they aren't technically a projectile because they are pretty up close and personal when you first use the attack. But then when I actually used it, I realised, wait, they do travel pretty far, don't they? So, we classified it as a projectile and sacrificed Legendary Blades. It's a punishment for my stupidity. That and also he was dead regardless of the sacrifice, let's be honest here. So, Eon's Elite. It was never said that they were off limits. What was also said that were never off limits is Lycors. Now sure, they create a wave of damage. That could be classified as projectile. But that is something outside of my power that I do not control. Same as for woodpeckers. Besides, I am using a Brawling Skylander attached to this Lycor. It's a Brawler who just happens to be a Lycor, and that is Whamshell, a Light Core Wham showed it did not last very long, in fact. So now let's go for yet another Light Core. Grim Creeper. Boy, I need this damage right now. Because having to be melee only, it is really, really screwing me right now. Oh, no, oh, what was that? What, who, what, where, why, when? I am questioning just all leaps of logic right now. So, let's bring out another version of Slam Bam. It's the legendary version, because clearly I haven't killed off enough legendary versions as of just yet. Ow. Luckily that's what we've got pizza for. Or pretzels, or just food in general, okay? That's what we have it for. This is... well, it's tough is what it is. Luckily, Dark Wildfire even right here, he is pretty tough. But he's also level 1, so that's going to make things a hell of a whole lot harder. You see what I mean? That guy was too busy showing off and roaring as soon as he got put in the portal that I wasn't even granted the opportunity to throw out a single attack. This, my friends, is why you don't even bother with level 1 characters unless it is one of the sabotages of the previous episodes, mind you. So let's go ahead and bring out Flipwreck, and then I'm going to have to go to my shelf and pick up some more Skylanders because I ran out of the ones that are beside me on my bed right now. Can you guys please stop and like give me some invincibility frames? I understand that's asking for a lot because Trap Team doesn't know the meaning of the word invincibility frames, but still, that would be just so useful if I could have some of those. And there goes them guys. Also, let's use another iteration of Chop Chop then, I guess, and hope for the best. I accidentally put too many Skylanders on reported power at once right there. So here we go with Slice and Dice and Viking Hat 2 for the win. Thank God this guy's level 20. That's a nice change of pace after having so many level characters previously. Oh my God, that's 7 HP. Wow, what a huge difference that's gonna make. The game couldn't even let me finish my jokes, man. The game is just so obsessed with killing every person that I love today. So it looks like now I'm gonna have to go with the good old Ninjini and her melee swordy thingies.
Any last wishes?
Okay, here we are. Let's swashbuckle our way to victory. Wow, I should have just gone with this character in the first place. That was actually a pretty sick combo. Luckily, we're almost done and this slaughtering could come to an end. But now, let me go and gather up some more Skylanders for my miniature army. My dead miniature army, to be exact. Okay, so it's time for us to continue. We're gonna stick with Ninjini for the moment being. I can't remember whether both Bushwhack versions died off in the previous episode. I know for a fact Legendary certainly did. But I think regular Bushwhack is still up for grabs, so we'll probably switch out for him next, no doubt, because he is definitely a fine example of a melee powerhouse. I mean, he has a massive ass axe to prove it, for Pete's sake. Okay, sweet, that guy's dead. We're glad to see it. I can't use any of her projectile attacks right now. That's another thing that the Sabotage is really clever for. When enemies start attacking the Mystery Box of Doom, I have no way of defending it until I get up close and personal with those enemies, because I can't fire off my projectiles to distract them or defeat them from a distance. So I have to get all the way to it to defend it, and then, you know, well, it gets unleashed, and the rest is quite self-explanatory. This screen right here, yeah, that sums it up pretty perfectly, alright. Anyway, it's a Bushwhack's turn. I can't wait for this to go horribly wrong. Probably, anyway. Yeah, that's my max, alright. Okay, watch out for that guy, which we did. I'm proud of me. Oh, come on! Well then, looks like I'm gonna have to revert to yet another elite, which I was alluding to earlier. Eruptor! Yeah, I say it's definitely questionable as to whether all of the attacks I'm going to be using are projectiles or whatnot. So I'll just let the comment section tell me how wrong I am for using this character. But I would say that's pretty melee based. Like, these guys are definitely within striking distance of me. You know, if it weren't for the fact that this guy was so OP and killed everything, I think he would definitely be killed off quite quickly, having to get up close and personal with that eruption right now. Eruptor, well, he erupts, so you saw that one coming, right? Plot twist of the century, that right there. So here we go, wave 59, we've got 2 more waves to go. You know, I was right, we do need to beat wave 60, because that would then be 10 waves. Okay, here we are. Let's take down some fools then, with our projectile attacks. Quote unquote, not projectile, melee. Yeah, I keep on wanting to say melee and then I say projectile by total accident. But melee, that's like the best Super Smash Bros. Game. So they say. I wouldn't know, I haven't played it. I've played every other Smash Bros. Game, even the Nintendo 64 version. And yet I somehow still haven't played melee, which I understand is most certainly a sin. Wow, this is just dumpster broken on so many levels, and I love it! Where was this guy in my life previously? Like, seriously, maybe all of my characters would be a little bit less dead if I thought of this sooner. Okay, here we are. Boom, baby. Okay, watch out for that guy. Oh, he did, alright, he's so very dead. Okay, build phase, where we're not going to worry about towers, we're just going to worry about whether Eruptor will or will not beat this final wave of the episode. Spoiler alert, he will. And even if he don't, he does have many powerful characters coming up after him. So yeah, you guys can debate in the comment section or whatnot whether this is a projectile. I would argue it is a melee attack. A melee attack is something to where you're so close to an enemy, if they could easily hit you whilst you're initiating that attack. And in my eruption attack, enemies are certainly close enough to hit me. They're just being defeated so quickly by the melee damage that they're not having the opportunity to do so. Then again, I suppose because the volcanoes around me do spew lava, that is getting a borderline projectile. So, you know, this is going to be a pleasant debate in the comment section, I'm sure. Everyone knows that pleasant quote-unquote debates are always kept that way in internet comment sections. Internet comment sections never get toxic or hateful whatsoever.
I just need to stay away from all the stuff that burns me up. Talk radio, internet comment sections.
Especially when the videos are opinionated, you know. If you have an opinion on the internet, people just have so much respect for you, man. Like, seriously. I've never seen so many people come together and talk about how similar their opinions are. Like, if you have an opinions, internet is a place for it. Because you're never going to get attacked or harassed based on how you personally connect to something. It will just be ridiculous to think so otherwise. But enough of my rantage around opinions. This here Sabotage episode, well, it's coming to an end at long last. Boy, I never thought the day would come. Now, with that all being said and done, this video is coming to an end, but before that happens, I first want to thank all my Blazing Knights and Scorpion Dragons whose support allow me to continue pumping out quality videos like this one. Without them, this all wouldn't be possible. Therefore, I genuinely appreciate every last one of you from the bottom of my heart. If you enjoyed this video, I have others you can watch by clicking on screen now, and you can even subscribe by pressing the button on the bottom right hand corner of the screen. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be seeing you in the next one, but until that moment arises, peace!